Hey there, YouTube! What's going on, guys? And thank you for tuning in to Rules for Rebels. It's Tuesday, so it's time for another episode of Side Hustle Tuesdays. Today is episode 90. It's hard to believe we've done 90 episodes thus far. That's 90 businesses and 90 side hustles to draw inspiration from. If you've missed any of these episodes thus far, check out Side Hustle Tuesdays playlist and catch up on the episodes you've missed. Before we get into today's episode, a shout out to the sponsor of Side Hustle Tuesdays this week. I'd love to give a shout out to our sponsor, Bookmark.com. Bookmark.com is a free website builder which can build you a website in under 2 minutes by just answering a couple simple questions about your business. No coding, no need for graphic designers, no boring templates, with over 600 business types, from building a professional portfolio to an e-commerce site. If you're looking to build a website to feature your print-on-demand designs or to be home to your side hustle, check out Bookmark.com. You'll love Ada, their artificial intelligence design assistant. The link is in the description box below. Today's episode is a fun one. Today's episode is about a side hustler who, while on vacation in South America, discovered the inspiration for his side hustle and brought it back to his hometown of Chicago, Illinois. Jeff, today's side hustler, and his business is free walking tours. It's funny, I've actually taken a similar tour in the past. While visiting my parents down in Charleston, South Carolina a couple summers ago, my girlfriend and I saw a sign on the sidewalk for free ghost tours, which was a free walking tour through historical downtown Charleston. Being a cheapskate, the word free caught my eye, and we decided to go on the tour. Well, the tours aren't completely free. They're kind of utilizing a pay what you want or pay what you thought it was worth business model, which is an interesting business model. I've seen coaches, consultants, and even restaurants use this business model, and it's definitely an interesting one. In today's episode, we'll hear about Jeff's walking tours, which utilize this pay-what-you-want business model. Jeff Mikos has been the manager of a pet care business for a large grocery store cooperative. He's also dabbled in real estate and has 2 rental properties in his hometown of Chicago. A couple years back, Jeff and his wife had an experience while traveling abroad that led him to his side hustle. While on a trip through South America, Jeff and his wife stumbled upon a free walking tour in the city of Santiago, Chile. Jeff and his wife were initially skeptical as nothing in life is free, but they decided to check it out. Turned out it was a fantastic tour, and he and his wife really enjoyed it. Throughout the rest of their travels through South America, they made a point to seek out similar tours and did another one while traveling through Ecuador. It was while on this tour in Ecuador that Jeff decided he was going to bring this concept back to Chicago, because who wouldn't want a free tour, right? Jeff got home and got straight to work. He found someone on Upwork to build his website. He spent about $500 on the freelancer, a custom template, and a scheduling software for scheduling the tours. He then put up an ad on Craigslist, and within a couple days he was doing interviews. He set up about 17 interviews and spent the next 2 days all day at Starbucks interviewing potential tour guides. Jeff eventually settled on a handful of candidates who had mixed experience, were friendly and likable, and whose schedules co-aligned to allow him to offer walking tours 7 days a week. Leading up to the launch of the business and the first tours, Jeff caught a break when the Red Eye, a popular Chicago neighborhood publication, wrote about it 2 days before his launch. This generated a much-needed buzz. Jeff also spent the days leading up to the launch walking around passing out brochures at hotels and hostels around Chicago. One mistake Jeff made that he later realized was that he didn't use any type of promo code on his pamphlets he passed out, which would distinguish those that came from that external business development at hotels and hostels from those who came from TripAdvisor, the newspaper article, or just stumbled upon his site. Once Jeff's site was published, people began signing up. Jeff looked at his wife and said, "We have guests." Jeff got back to work getting set up for the first of their tours. Well, at this point, many of you are probably wondering, how do you make money by offering free tours? If you guess that they aren't really free, then you're right. Jeff's tour company asked guests to leave a gratuity for what they thought the tour was worth. The gratuity goes to the guides, and Jeff makes money by charging the guides $2 to $3 per guest. They average about 18 guests per tour and have 15 tours per week during the busy spring and summer season. That's about $810 per week. That may not seem huge, but keep in mind Jeff isn't doing any of the tours. He really just maintains the website that everything is booked on, and for that, Jeff gets a kickback from his guides. I think that's another genius part of this business model. The guides make sure everyone has a good time and are entertained because they make the bulk of the money, and that gives them a vested interest in Jeff's business. In addition to the group tours, they also offer private tours to larger groups or to people who can't make it to the dates and times of their scheduled tours. For these tours, Jeff charges $150 per tour and caters the tours to the needs of the individual or the group. Jeff's business model is definitely unique. As Jeff and myself both experienced, when going on a quote-unquote free tour, you're skeptical. What is the quality of the tour going to be like if it's free? Jeff says it was important for him and his business to maintain 5-star ratings and get a lot of reviews. People may be skeptical, but after seeing not only a lot of reviews, but all 5-star reviews, that's enough social proof for people to know that it's a tour they want to go on. Since its creation, Free Walking Tours went from nothing to being a 5-star TripAdvisor company with hundreds of reviews, and he also received a certificate of excellence from TripAdvisor. To date, Jeff has done over 15,000 tours, and the side hustle is currently bringing in over $2,500 per month in income. Well, it's not huge money, it's pretty much completely passive, and it's pretty low maintenance. Jeff also coordinated with other paid tours in the area, so if people can't make his tour, he can refer them to another tour company, and Jeff gets a kickback from those referrals. This tour business supplements Jeff's income from his day job, and he hopes to run even more next year. Now, one thing to mention about Jeff's business model, for any of you guys considering implementing a similar business model, when you tell people pay what you want, many people don't have a clue what to pay. Something they did on my ghost tour, my girlfriend and I went on, and something Jeff also has his guides utilize, is they mention how much a comparable paid tour costs. In my case, down in Charleston, I think it was something like $60 per person, and the guide mentioned this during the tour. I found myself in a situation of asking myself, what do I pay? Do I give the guy $5? Am I being cheap giving him $5? By telling people what comparable tours cost, it gives people an idea of what they may want to pay, and people are less confused and are also likely to give you more money. You know, the timing of this story was funny. I was just in the Chicago Loop the other day doing a Chicago architecture tour myself. Every year in the fall, Chicago holds an event called Open Chicago, where they open up a lot of old historic buildings to the public, and you can go down and check them out for free. We got to see the Federal Reserve, the old Chicago Athletic Club, and a number of other cool buildings that are generally closed to the public. My girlfriend's sister-in-law went to architecture school at the Art Institute of Chicago, so she actually was our tour guide, but it reminded me of how fun it is to do some of those touristy activities right in your own backyard. I see Jeff still has a few more tours going this season, so I'm going to try to get out there and check one of them out before the Chicago winter is upon us. Anyhow, guys, that's today's side hustle story. If you got any ideas or inspiration from today's story, don't be afraid to go and check out our sponsor, bookmark.com, to quickly and easily build out a home for your very own side hustle. Anyhow, guys, thanks for tuning in, and until next week, this is Rules for Rebels and Side Hustle Tuesdays, signing out.